In the early years of my coaching career, Craig Hansen, my assistant, and I, built our program on the foundation, the bones, if you will, of Matthew 13, which is the parable of the sower of seeds and where the seeds fall. And we talked about the importance of building a great program, like building a great family or building a great business, was going to take a great preparation, that we would have to prepare the soil. And we lived in the Palouse at the time, so we gave recognition to what those original farmers did by literally with their hands, horse and plow, clearing the rocks from the Palouse fields into piles off on the side to get the soil ready for planting. And then after you prepared the soil, you had to plant the seeds. And so their second step was planting great seeds and making sure that the seeds didn't just get scattered anywhere. You didn't want the seeds on the rock piles. You wanted seeds in the fertile rows that you had prepared. And so you wanted seeds to fall right. And then number 3, you had to nourish and take care of the crop. You had to make sure that weeds didn't come in and choke out the good seeds. You had to make sure that it got water and was fed on a regular basis, got sunshine, that they were well cared for, so that the seeds could grow. So you had to prepare the soil. You had to plant good seeds. You had to watch for weeds. You had to water well, nourish the crop, if you will. And then number 4, you had to reap the harvest. And we were blessed enough to do just that. And our original T-shirt was not great artwork, I'm afraid, but was that the sower of seeds and that 4-stage process. And sure enough, 4 or 5 years later, we won our first championship and a number of others after that. Building a great foundation, but maybe more importantly, nourishing the crop on a daily basis, never relentless about nourishing and growing all the time. Matthew 13:8. Other seeds fell on fertile soil, and they produced a crop that was 30, 60, and even 100 times as much as had been planted. Now, obviously, God wasn't talking to us about wrestling, but He was talking to us about our faith in Him. And we put seeds into our lives every day, whether it's our thought lives, the friends we associate with, the things we allow to influence us. All of these things can either make us stronger or they can make us weaker. The more good things and good people, the more positive influences we associate with in all areas of our lives, the more likely those things will choke out the bad things. And the good will choke out the bad. But if you're not careful, the bad will choke out the good. So the more we spend time with good influencers and think on things that are good and pure, as the Apostle Paul suggests in Philippians 4:8, the better the chance the weeds of temptation and evil will not gain a foothold in our thoughts and in our lives. If you spend a lot of time keeping your yard, weed free, you would think we would do the same in our own lives to keep the weeds out and keep good in. How do we do that? And as Christians, at least for me, I do that with my own local church, and in these weird, tough times of COVID-19, it has gone virtual, but staying virtually connected and listening to the weekly messages, multiple messages actually weekly from our North End Collective Church, reading things like today's daily devotion, sharing of different pastors. I've kind of refallen in love with Bart Orth, if you will, up in 9 Mile Falls and Suncrest Family Worship Center, and their messages up there. I enjoyed listening to Bart's Sunday messages. It keeps me sharp, and the more that I can surround myself with those good things, the less likely bad things will come into my life. And I want to grow strong. I want to be that'll produce 30, 60, even 100 times as much as has been planted. Surely my life's been very blessed, but I want to be deserving of those blessings as well. I want to be in good favor with God. And one of the ways to do that is to make sure that you nourish your crop daily. That if you miss a day, you nourish it the next. And like the flowers that are hanging out in the front of the porch out front, if I miss a day or two, they begin to wilt. And so does our faith, and so does the strength of growing our knowledge. If we miss a day or two, it begins to wilt just a bit. It doesn't go away, it'll never go away, but it just will begin to wilt. And we want them to be bright and vibrant and flowering. And we want that, God wants that from us in our Christian lives as well. Awesome. Matthew 13. Love you. Bye.